Alright, so Luis Alberto Lopez knocks out Michael Conlan in the fifth round of what was a very entertaining fight from start to finish. Really, really enjoyed this fight. Michael Conlan fought a lot of this fight on the front foot, which, for me, well, obviously, we could say it was the wrong thing to do now, but it was such a head scratcher because Conlan has very good footwork, very good athleticism. He does switch hit a lot, which is not his normal style from the amateurs. And I felt that he would try and keep this fight at range, long, use his defense, and try and just almost wear Lopez out. Because Lopez, when I say unorthodox, I mean there's unorthodox, there's Luis Alberto Lopez. I was watching this fight and I was thinking, how do you actually prepare for this guy? Because he's throwing shots from angles you'd never think to throw from. Like if you went into a gym, and bear in mind he's a world champion and a good world champion at that. But if he went into a gym and let's say a trainer didn't know who he was and he just said, "Oh, I've only had a couple of amateur fights," just hypothetically, they'd be saying, "Whatever you're doing, don't do it. You're doing everything wrong," because he is so unorthodox. It's crazy. You know, he'd be dipping right down low, throw a left hook, and you could tell with Conlan it was offsetting him because there was times where Luis Alberto Lopez in this fight was dipping down low and feinting to throw, and Conlan was instantly biting because Conlan was just like, where are these shots going to come from? And when he makes these kind of movements and moves down a thing, even if he's feinting, it's like, is he going to throw? Because these punches are coming from angles I'd never even think, probably in all my amateur fights, I've never even been hit from. So he's honestly, I'd say he's a nightmare to try and even prepare for, because he's just throwing shots from angles you just don't expect. You know, he's throwing sometimes like 1, 2, boom, over everywhere. It's like, what the hell is going on with this guy? But it's effective. Ask Josh Warrington. And the first couple of rounds, I felt that it was even Steven in the first 2 rounds. First round I gave to Michael Conlan, second round I gave to Lopez. But then from the third round on, it was all Lopez. He stunned Conlan in that third round with a left hook. And you could tell that Conlan had nothing to keep Lopez off with. You know, even with Josh Warrington didn't have a massive amount to keep Lopez off with. But even though Conlan has more knockouts than Warrington, I suspect Josh Warrington is the harder puncher of the two. And at least he had a little bit of something to kind of, maybe not deter Lopez, but at least make him think. I don't think Conlan had anything. And once he realised he could hurt Mick Conlan, he was all on him like white was to rice. He really was. He wouldn't let up. Conlan, I don't think I knew that coming the Lee Wood fight, but he doesn't seem to handle pressure very well. And Conlan's shape, if you look at his shape when he's in there, when he's fighting a pressure fighter, his shape just goes all together. You know, his footwork at times was good, but at times it can get a bit all over the place. His movement gets a little bit all over the place. In this fight, he was moving into some of the shots, and it was just, he looked all over the place in there. And I don't know if it was the pressure of being back home and having a world title on the line, or if it was the fact that Luis Alberto Lopez was just so damn awkward. Conlan was kind of all over the place in there, just trying to figure out what to do next, because no matter what I do, I'm getting caught. In the end, it mattered for little what Conlan did, because a big uppercut went in the 5th round. And watching it live, it didn't look, I was watching the interviews there, watching it live, it didn't look a massively concussive shot. When you look at it, the slow motion replay, it landed perfect on Mick Conlan. He went down and he stayed down, Adam Boot with the towel in. Conlan was never going to beat that count. He was never going to get up. He was never going to beat that count. And the referee counted him out. End to a very entertaining 5 rounds. And, you know, Mick Conlan, he looked nearly on the verge of tears there in the ring. And a lot of people would say that I don't like Michael Conlan. I've never met Michael Conlan, had any contact with him, whatever. But all I can say is what I see, and I've seen a guy who's tried to find the easiest way to a world title. And with someone with his amateur background, he's gone about going to this level the wrong way, in my opinion. And Frank Warren and Bob Arum should know that, because Conlan started his career out in America. He hasn't fought in America since 2019, I think. Thereabouts. Yeah, 2019 when he fought that guy he lost to in the Olympics. Can't remember his name now. But since then, he's been in the UK, and he's fought domestic guys like Jason Cunningham and beaten them. He's fought a couple of fringe European type guys and beat them. But when he fought Benute back in 21, I think it was, and he struggled in that fight, that should have been a sign that, okay, we need to work on things. We can't just throw you in at the deep end with a world title. But maybe it was Adam Boot, maybe it was Conlan who were just fixated on a world title. They wanted to jump the gun. That fight should have been a sign, right, we're taking things too quick with you. Let's have incremental steps. But he's not gone that road. He's gone straight into the deep end for world titles. He's been found wanting twice, and he's been knocked out badly twice as well. I don't know if he has a chance to be able to reset and start again. I think he should and go back to maybe not European level, but fringe world level and try and see what you can do. Because think of it like this, right? He never fought any of the guys. He never fought the Kiko Martinez's of the world. He never fought, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, the Kanzus of the world. You know, I know Kanzu was a world champion, but still he probably wouldn't be the upper echelons of the world level guys. But he never fought those type of guys. He went from 126 to 122 to 126, literally, and I kid you not, in search of the weakest champion. What does that tell you? That tells you that he doesn't even believe in his own ability. Because if he's as good as he's making himself out to be, why isn't he saying, right, whoever it is, they can get it? He was literally looking to pick up a vacant WBO title until they mandated him to fight for the vacant title against Navarrete, down to 122. Who's this Stephen Fulton? Never heard of him. Oh, we'll try and fight him. Whoa. He's very good. Okay, well, we're going back to 120. Lee Wood is a title. We're fighting him. That's literally what it was like. You know, so he obviously doesn't have that much faith in his own ability, which is why I think, even for his own sake, he should drop down a couple of levels, try and do a few things out, maybe leave Adam Boot, because Adam Boot is a trainer who, Conlan's style to an extent suits Adam Boot. He likes an athletic fighter, but I think it's like he turned pro with Manny Robles. Remember that he wasn't an Adam Boot fighter when he turned pro. He turned pro with Manny Robles. So I don't know why he left that setup, and I think Manny Robles might be a better fit for Mike Conlan than Adam Boot. So let's wait and see what he does next. He takes the L, here tonight, but look, Conlan is not massively old. He's 31, I think, 31, 32, so he's not crazy old. He's still got a couple of years left. I think he needs to really reset, and if he's going to have comeback fights, don't take them at the level he was taking, where they were just below level and just easy wipeouts. Try and incrementally step it up, and then see what happens. See what the landscape of the division is like then, and then see. That's my thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash the like button if you could. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. For now, I'll probably talk to you after Lee Wood Lara. Peace.